Hey there, I'm just listening to a podcast by Joe Rogan, and he interviews a guy called Michael Scott Moore. And he's been captured by Somali pirates for more than 2 years. And first of all, you really need to listen to the podcast. It's fascinating to hear especially his mental process that he went through. But from the three principles or the inside out understanding, something really caught my attention when he was speaking about when he actually got released after 2.5 years. He was talking to an FBI psychologist, and he felt very anxious in big groups, and the situation they were in there was actually a big group. And so he asked the psychologist, do I have PTSD? So do I have that a lot of soldiers also have after very stressful situations? And the psychologist said a very, very interesting thing. He said, we don't label things. And Michael was kind of confused about it, and said, but do I have PTSD? And the guy was more dismissive, or more, let's say he wasn't real. He said that there is no value in giving what he felt in that moment a name, because through their experience they realized that when their patients start giving energy to, well, I have PTSD or I have this psychological syndrome, that they actually get worse than better. So another thing that they also did, they actually didn't give Michael any support in the classical sense, that they said you need to go to a psychologist or you need to do X, Y, Z. And that's what Joe Rogan was very interested in. How he said, like, what techniques did they give you? And they gave him none. So what they said is the only thing that is very useful is to have loving people around. And what happens to him now, he still, after I think it's now 4 years that he went through this horrific experience, he still feels anxious, but much less. And what he said, what I found most fascinating, is he said the mind takes care of itself. It took care of, like, he didn't need to do anything externally that he got healthy, but just let it be, kind of like let it rest, like when you have a physical wound, right? The last thing you need to do is like poke it and try to make it healthy again, because then it will infect itself and it will take much longer to heal. And it's the same with the psychological health of your mind. Once you let it be and not try to improve it and do mantras and really try to feel better about yourself, then the mind can relax and it naturally comes back to that state of balance. So I just wanted to share that. I found it fascinating. I'm gonna link the interview by Joe Rogan with Michael in just below this video. So have an amazing day. I hope I could give you a little bit of something to think about, and hope to speak to you soon in person. Bye bye.